What's going on, guys? My name is Rest. I'm a professional Arena Valor support player. In this video, I'm just going over the best heroes for supports, Arcana pages, rotations, items, as well as getting vision and what your general role is throughout the game. So first, I'm just going to be going over what heroes I think are best, the Arcana pages, and then I'm going to be going and getting into a game, and I'll just be talking throughout the game, thinking what I'm going to be doing next and why I'm doing it, as well as just explaining the support role a little bit more. So the best page for supports currently is 10 times Indomitable, 10 times Benevolence, and 10 times Valiance. Overall, this gives you a lot of good stats, as you can see. And it's also the Arcana pages that a lot of supports in the Southeast Asia region use. And then the best heroes I think for support right now would be Alice, who's really good crowd control and can definitely turn around a team fight with her ultimate. Lumburr is definitely another good one. His ultimate is good for engaging or peeling. He has a knock-up that will also give allies shields if you dash through them. He can reduce enemies' damage, as well as the lowest HP ally near you gets bonus additional armor. Another really good one is Ormarr if you like to play very aggressive. He has lots of crowd control and damage early game, which is great for invading the enemy jungle and getting lots and lots of trades and picks. And another really good one right now is Teemee, who's basically 100% pick or banned right now in competitive play due to his ultimate, which resurrects heroes that are killed around him when he activates it, as well as his stun, which builds up over time and gives you lots of movement speed, and he has a grappling hook where you can hook onto something to escape as well as to engage onto. So I'm just here in the practice game, that way I can go ahead and show you guys what you should be doing throughout the whole game as the support, what your role is going to be, item builds, as well as rotations. So to start the game, I 100% of the time build boots. Movement speed is really important for a support early game since you're going to be roaming around a lot. From there, I usually build in a Sonic or Gilded Greaves. It depends on what's the enemy team. For example, if they have lots of enemies with crowd control or heavy magic damage, I'm going to go ahead and build like Gilded Greaves. That way I'm 35% more resistant to stuns or crowd control. That way I can get out of them quicker and get back to helping my team. If there are lots of basic attack damage and low magic damage on their team, I'm going to go ahead and build these Sonic Boots. That way I take less normal attack damage from the enemy and stack up that armor. From there, I'll usually build into a Knight's Plate. There is a rare exception of that. If the enemy is basically all magic damage, I'm going to go ahead and build in that build to Charity just because that Knight's Plate isn't going to be doing me much good. And this will go ahead and restore HP when I take some damage every 15 seconds, as well as give me some magic defense and HP. From there, I build into Bucklers. Buckler is a really good item for your support just because it gives you lots of health, 1000, as well as gives you the HP regen. That way you don't have to back to base as much. It also will reduce the enemy damage to your teammates, as well as boosting their damage output, which will be really good. From there, it is heavily situational. You can either build into it, like for example, if you built the Knight's Plate first, next item you usually want to build into Shield of the Lost or the Aegis. Both of these are really good items. I personally like to go with Shield of the Lost most of the time. That way it just reduces everyone's attack speed around me for the enemies. And then Aegis is also a good one. That way whenever you take damage, it reduces the enemy's attack speed by 30% and also reduces their movement speed. That way they can't get away from you. And it does stack up that armor, give you 20% cooldown, as well as give you some max mana, which will be important on certain heroes like Alice, who does use a lot of mana and could use some cooldown. From there, I will usually build into Medallion of Troy. Sometimes Gaia's, very rarely. Medallion of Troy is really good since it gives you all that magic defense and HP, additional cooldown, as well as gives you a shield that will come back up every 18 seconds that will block out magic damage. And then for the last item, or I guess this will be for the 5th item spot, I'll almost always build in a Mail of Pain. Really good item. Will bounce back any physical damage that you've taken into magic damage, 15% of that to the enemy that dealt it. And the last item, Ancestral Glory, really good item. If you die, you just come back up with 40% of your HP. And then there is exceptions to this build. For example, on Alice, You would still want to build either Sonic or Gilded Greaves. From there, Knight's Plate. Sometimes you can go ahead and skip that, and you'll want to go straight into Frosty's Revenge. That's a really good item for your ultimate, since that way enemies are basically permanently stuck in it, and it's really hard for them to get out, as well as if you land a stun, when they're unstunned they'll be slowed, and it's really hard to escape from you. And then from there on Alice, I like to build Aegis. And then most of the time I'll build it into Virtue's Bracelet, that way I get tons and tons of cooldown. My ultimate's up basically every 15 seconds, stun every 4. And that way late game team fights you're just constantly landing those stuns, and you can just dish out ultimates sometimes twice in a team fight, which can really turn it around. Right. And so when you're starting out the game, you usually want to go over into the mid lane, and then immediately head over to one of these side brushes. That way you're getting vision on that side, see where the enemy is, if they're going to be invading, or if you're invading, you're getting good vision around that area, and you can go ahead and invade with your teammates. Or you can go ahead and help your enemy laner push out the wave by using a single ability. You want to be careful because you don't want to take any XP, because it's really important for your mid laner to get that level 2 as soon as possible, preferably that first wave. But you just doing some damage to that wave will help it push out a lot quicker. And then from there, usually you'll want to be rotating around, keeping vision in this river area, trying to figure out where the enemy jungler is. So for example, my jungler, let's say he did his web buff first, and now he's on this side. So I'll generally want to stick to my jungler and be his vision for him. That way we know if enemies are going to be invading, trying to contest his camps, and if they do, I'm there to help them out. As well as, that way I can go ahead and help him invade as well. And so Dragon spawns at 2 minutes, and he has a 2-minute respawn timer. And so usually around that 150 mark, you definitely want to be around here almost every single game, getting vision control of this abyssal dragon and just having control of this river. That way your team can go ahead and take it, and it's a lot harder for the enemy team to contest. Dragon is really good for your team to take. It gives lots and lots of gold for your team, as well as XP. And usually if you take it around that 2-minute, 2:20 mark, you'll be the first team to all hit level 4, so you get your ultimates before the team fight, and it's a really good time to have a team fight then. And so yeah, that's basically the general support guide. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comments below, and remember to subscribe for future videos. I'll be going ahead and doing more videos on the future on certain supports, how you should be playing them and using their abilities, and just more in-depth guides. Thank you.